All right, so we're going to enter another type of factorization today, that is quadratics. So quadratics and quadratic expressions and equations have a general form, right? So the general form of a quadratic is of the form I did not put formula is of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Now where a, b, and h are a, b, and c are constants, right? So where a is the coefficient of x squared, right? B is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant, right? A, b, and c will be actual numbers. So let's first identify how to get those values, how to pull out those values from a question. So example 1, find A, B, and C for the following. So getting A, B, and C, that is very important. So we have part 1 here. We have x squared plus 4x plus 3. Part 2, you have negative 4x squared plus 6x minus 3. Part 3, we have 6m squared minus 3m minus 5. Part 4, we have 6 minus 4x squared plus 5x. So we had to get the values for A, B, and C. So recall the general formula is the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So you have to ensure that the given expression is written in this form as well. So a is the number in front of x squared, which in this case is 1. B in this case is the coefficient of x, which is 4. C is the number by itself, in this case it's 3. Part 2, you have, well, it's already written in the ax squared plus bx plus c form. So it's easy to identify A. That is just the number in front of x squared. So A is equal to negative 4, B is equal to 6, and C is equal to negative 3. Part 3, A will be equal to 6, B is equal to negative 3, and C is equal to negative 5. So the sign is very important. You can't just put positive 5 and positive 3. It's negative 3 and negative 5 in this case. Now part 4 looks a bit different from the other 3 questions we just did. The reason being is that the x squared term is not written first. The order is not the same as the previous questions. So what we have to do is rewrite this in the quadratic form, where we have the x squared term first, so you put negative 4x squared first, put the x term second, which is 5x, and you put the 6 last, which is 6. So A is the number in front of x squared, which is negative 4. C is the number by itself, which is 5. My bad. B is the number in front of x, which is 5. And C is equal to 6. Because remember, it is of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So this was just identifying the constants a, b, and c. You understand this, right? So you would have been familiar with factorization, right? So we're going on to the factorization part now. If I go on to that, let's display this for note taking purposes. Right? So factorization of quadratics now. It's just some steps you have to follow and it should be fine. So factorization of quadratics. So these are these steps. So step one, you would want to find A, B, and C. Step two, you will want to multiply A by C. Step three, um, this is by trial and error. Find two terms or two numbers that are to give B and multiple. So they must add up. Two numbers must add up to give B, and you have to find two numbers that multiply to give AC. So basically, you're looking for two numbers and multiply is going to give the product of AC. Because remember in the previous step you had to multiply A and C. So that is the purpose of doing that, right? So this step here is very important. You don't have to write all these steps when you're doing these questions. But this step here is very important to note, right? The next step, step four, when you get those two numbers, replace bx with the two numbers. Yeah, we could put the two numbers in terms of x. What does this mean? Let's say the two numbers are 2 and 3. So then you would put 2x and 3x. Those are the two numbers, right? They are already numbers in terms of x. So if the two numbers are 5x and 10x, then you're putting it as 5. Well, if the two numbers are 5 and 10, then the numbers in terms of x will be 5x and 10x. If you have two numbers, 20 and 10, 20 and 10 in terms of x will be 20x plus 10x. That's right, in two numbers in terms of x, right? You'd understand it a little better when I'm going through the question with these steps, right? Now this works for when you have a quadratic of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Right? So let's look at some examples here now. So example one, let's say you have x squared plus 4x plus 3. But based on the first step, you want to identify where is a, b, and c. So you do have a number in front of x squared. So it's understood that a positive 1 is there because 1 by x squared is x squared. So we understand that a is 1, positive 1. If a number is not written in front of the variable, it's understood that positive 1 is there. So in this case, what is b? Well, b is positive 4. And what is c? C is positive 3. So we have a, b, and c here. Now when we get a, b, and c, we multiply a by c. So look for two numbers when multiplied will give us the product of AC. And what is the product of AC? That is simply 1 by 3, which is 3. I put in it here, 1 by 3, which is 3. So looking for two numbers and multiply will give you 3, but wait, don't get it yet. The two numbers must add up to give you B. And what is B? B is 4. Now you can look to get the numbers by trial and error. So look for two numbers and multiply will give you 3 and add to give you 4. I know 3 plus 1 is 4 and 3 times 1 is 3. So now we're going to write this as x squared plus, I could write this as 1x or just x plus, well, I could use the 3 now because it don't matter the order in which I use the 3 and the 1. I'm going to use the 3 now plus 3x. Remember that I write that in terms of x plus, I didn't put back this 3 yet, so I have to put back that 3 here now. That is how I end up with 4 terms. What did I do? I replaced the bx term, which is the fourth step, replace bx with the two numbers in terms of x. I replace the bx term with x and 3x. The last step that I did not put in there, but I will put it now. Step 5. Use grouping factorization, which I would have done in the last class, to simplify. To simplify. Right? So what we're going to do here now is group the first two terms and the last two terms. So what is coming between x squared and x is taking out the letter x, open bracket. X squared divided by x is just x, put your plus sign. X divided by x is 1, close your bracket. What is coming between 3x and 3, taking out the number 3, open bracket. 3x divided by 3 is x, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. You're going to take out the x plus 1 now, and you're going to put x plus 3 in the other bracket. And that is basically our answer. X plus 1 times x plus 3. Now it's pretty simple, right? You just have to practice using these steps. So we're going to apply these 5 steps now to some more questions. So I'll just do 2 more. I could probably display the steps and the question beside of it. Right, so suppose we have another exercise here. Let's say we have x squared plus 5x plus 6. We have to factorize this. So the coefficient of x squared is a, and that's 1. The coefficient of x is 5. The coefficient of, well, the constant is c, which is 6. The next step is you look for two numbers. When multiplied, will give you the product of AC, a times c. So you're saying 1 multiplied by 6 is just 6. And the two numbers that multiplying to give you 6 must add up to give you b. But what is b? B is 5. So it's going to be 2 plus 3 is 5, and 2 by 3 is 6. So the next step now is to replace the 5x with these two terms in terms of x. So write back x squared. Instead of 5x, you're going to put 2x plus 3x plus 6. Then you factorize via grouping. So what is coming between x squared and 2x? Take out the x, open bracket. X squared divided by x is just x. For your plus sign, 2x divided by x is 2. What is coming between 3x and 6? You take out the 3, open bracket. 3x divided by 3 is x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So you're going to take out the x plus 2 now, and you're going to put the x plus 3 in the other bracket. And that's basically the answer there. So that is one question down there. So let's go through another one. Just put it here. So let's say you have 2x squared minus 7x plus 5. The first step is to take out what is a, which is 2, what is b, which is negative 7, what is c, which is 5. Next step is to find the product of AC. So AC will be 2 by 5, which is 10. So you're looking for two numbers, and multiplied will give you 10. And when added will give you b, but what is b? B is negative 7. The two numbers must add to give a negative 7. So I'm looking at negative 5 plus negative 2 is negative 7, and negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. And the next step is to write 2x squared. Instead of negative 7x, I'm going to put negative 2x, because I know this positive 2x squared will have the 2 common with the negative 2. So that's why I put negative 2x first. Then I'm putting minus 5x. If you think about it, negative 5x minus 2x is the negative 7x, right? Put the plus 5 last. And then you factorize via grouping. So what is common between 2x squared and 2x? The term 2x is common, open bracket. 2x squared divided by 2x is just x, put your minus sign. 2x divided by 2x is 1, close bracket. What is common between negative 5x and 5? You take out the negative 5, open bracket. Negative 5x divided by negative 5 is x. 5 divided by negative 5 is negative 1. So you're going to now take out the x minus 1 and put 2x minus 5 in the other bracket. And that is our answer there. Right? I will just go through one more. So let's say we have this other exercise here. Let's say we have 2x squared plus 13x plus 15. So you look for two numbers, when multiplied will give you the product of 2 times 15, which is 30, because is a times c. In this case, a is 2, b is 13, and c is 15. So 30 is basically AC, which is 2 by 15, which is 30. You look for two numbers, one added will give you b, but what is b? B is positive 13. So I know 10 plus 3 is 13, and 10 times 3 is 30. So now I'm writing back 2x squared. Instead of 13x, I'm going to put 10x plus 3x. And I have plus 15 here. Then I'm going to factorize via grouping. So what is common between 2x squared and 10x? Well, 2x, open bracket. 2x squared divided by 2x is x. 10x divided by 2x is 5. Put your plus sign. What is common between 3x and 15? 3. Open bracket. 3x divided by 3 is x, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. Then we see an x plus 5 common here. So we take out the x plus 5, and we remain with 2x plus 3. What did I do? I followed steps 1 to 5 in order to factorize quadratics. So you have a fair understanding of factorization of quadratics, right?